Hello everybody, welcome to Strasbourg for our October session. This is an exciting session for us because we're actually working 2 sessions this time. As you know, we have to meet in Strasbourg 12 times a year by treaty. We're desperately trying to reduce that, so a clever and innovative way of doing that is by having 2 sessions in 1 week, which means that it reduces the travelling backwards and forwards. It's a small reduction in cost, but every little helps. And we think it's a huge contribution towards the psychology, at least, of getting this changed. And yet again this morning the Parliament voted in a budget vote for reducing the costs of moving to Strasbourg by effectively getting rid of this ridiculous journey that we all have to do once a month. So we're a small way on the path towards achieving that. But in the end, it's our member state governments who have to decide. So keep putting pressure on your MP, keep putting pressure on number 10 and make them sign up to this, because what we really need to do is end this incredible waste of your taxpayer money. So, big votes today on the European budget. We've been talking about the budget for 2013 and also the multi-framework on budgets for the next 7 years. And in both cases, the Commission have been requiring a much larger increase in budget than is in any way acceptable. We British Conservatives have been asking for a complete freeze in budget, and we have been supported in theory by many other political parties, but unfortunately when it actually comes to the vote, they don't put their money where their mouth is and they don't vote with us. So today we were pretty much alone in voting to keep the increase to 0. At a time when I know everybody's working very hard to keep public spending down in the UK, and particularly when I meet so many very hard-working councillors around the country who are really trying hard, really cutting costs and taking the flak for that and trying to keep frontline services in a good condition, it is really very upsetting to see colleagues here in this Parliament blithely sticking their hands up for increases of over 5%, which it's not their taxpayers that will have to pay for it. It's British taxpayers and those in countries that are net contributors. So rest assured that we, your Conservative MEPs, are doing all we can to stop this. And finally, one issue which has been on the cards here is about women and quotas on boards. It's not a major issue, but I think it's quite an important touchstone one politically. The European Commission, in the guise of Mrs. Reding, who is one of the commissioners, has decided that they want to bring forward proposals to make quotas of women on boards legal and enforceable. Quite how many, we're not sure yet. 30%, possibly 40% of women, of board members on publicly quoted companies should be women. Much as I would love to see that sort of proportion, I think women do bring something special to the boardroom. I certainly don't want to see compulsion. I think this is a retrograde step and we will be fighting against it at every turn. But again, we find ourselves on the losing side, I believe, because I understand that most of the other political groups, including the UK Liberal Democrats and Labour groups, will be supporting this move. My problem with it is those women who get appointed to boards under this quota system will never ever be able to say that they've done it on merit, even though many of them, indeed probably most of them, are perfectly capable and competent of doing the job. It will undermine their position, and this is really something which I cannot support. So I look forward to letting you know how that progresses in future. So thank you very much for listening, and I'll see you again in November.